I personally know it is difficult. I have been through those myself. So with that, I'm so glad that most of you are preparing yourself to the world of technology, either on your own or by courses, or have gone through Restart from AWS. Again, a great start for all of you to get back to workforce. I know all of you are preparing for job interviews in the next coming weeks. And I also know that AWS is running a job fair on September 9th, and some of you may be already preparing for it. There is also one planned in October 2nd week, and some of you may choose to be part of that session as well. So with that in mind, I will spend the next 10-15 minutes with all of you to share my tips and tricks on how I faced interviews in my career, and also teach you STAR methodology that we use in AWS and Amazon Web Services, and also in Amazon in general, the methodology that we follow during our own interview process. And it is very beneficial for people who are interviewing for any role, across any organization. So it's a very generic tip and trick that I will share with all of you today. And please, let's keep it, I don't want it to be a monologue. I want it to be more conversational. So please stop me, ask me questions about my profession, maybe my personal life, my profession, what I'm doing in AWS, whatever you want to ask. So I'm more than happy to respond to your questions. So with that, I'll quickly share my screen. First, I'll go through a couple of tips and tricks on STAR methodology, and from there, I'll open for questions. Does that sound okay? Yeah, okay, cool. I am sharing my screen. Let me know once you can see it. Okay. Please let me know once you can, you're able to see my screen. You are, is it?
Yes, Deepti.
Okay, perfect. 1 second. Yeah. All right then. So I am Deepti Chimagurti, based out of AWS office in Hyderabad. I am part of training and certification team. And those of you who are familiar with AWS Restart program, that is being offered from our team in training and certification. So today I will talk to you a little bit about STAR methodology that will help you in preparing for your interviews. From a technical standpoint, I'm aware you're already prepared. You've done courses, you've gone through certification programs. So I will now talk about STAR methodology we use in AWS and why should one care about it. And what is STAR, right? So typically in interview scenarios, employers ask behavioral questions a lot. That's because they want to understand in a given situation, if you're thrown into waters, how will you work your way around it, right? So the STAR methodology will help you answer questions related to behavioral questions in the interview process. And companies like Amazon, other organizations are increasingly using this technique for both technical and non-technical interview processes. Right, this STAR methodology will help you be more intentional in the interview process, help you think through ahead of time, so that in the interview, there will be surprises during the interview process, but this methodology will help you be prepared in such a way that the number of surprises during the interview process will come down. It is just preparing you ahead of time. So what is STAR? So STAR is nothing but it's a format that we typically use when we ask interview questions to potential candidates who apply for AWS, where we would like them to talk about a situation at hand, a situation that they are dealing with right now in their previous organization or in a previous work situation, and what is the task at hand, right? What did they have to do to take care of the situation? And action, what action have they taken? What results has that action given? And we also like for candidates to reflect on the results that have come out, both good and bad. So I'm going to quickly talk about each of the situations a little bit more in detail. So remember, STAR is for situation, task, action, results, and reflect. So if you talk about situation, at work, on a day-to-day work, we are thrown into multiple scenarios, multiple situations, multiple priorities are pulling us in different directions, right? So in this, I would like you to talk about a context or a situation where you were faced with a challenge, and what have you done about it, right? So it is important to talk again very succinctly in a very short manner, because interviewers' attention span is very low because they're doing multiple interviews in a given week. So keep all your answers very, very succinct. Keep them to the point. Talk about what has been the situation, where what you had to do at that situation, right? That's the best practice. And then coming to task, talk about your responsibility on the task. I know all of us tend to say we, but it's important to say I, because this is a task at your hand. This is a situation that you are dealing with in the workplace scenario. So talk about the assignment, your role you're playing in that situation, what responsibility you had taken, and what was your involvement in solving that situation. So again, be succinct, aim at answering the questions, something like when it happened, what happened, how long it has been happening, right? What is the task at hand? And then action. For the given problem or a challenge or a situation, what action have you taken? How have you taken to resolve the problem at hand? Talk about it step by step. And how much time it took you to solve a particular problem? Who was involved? Who other stakeholders have you involved in helping you solve that problem? Right? So cover when you did it, how you did it, including what technology skills have you used, or what leadership skills have you used. It could be time management, it could be negotiation skills, it could be any number of things, right? What kind of technical and non-technical skills, program management, what have you used to take action on that situation at hand? And then results. It's very important that when we talk about results, we don't talk arbitrarily, or we give a very summation or a verbatim, but it's very important for us to talk with examples, with numbers. Quote the results with numbers. For example, a program that you have launched recently has, the program that you have designed, developed, and launched help you get 1,000 users, right? Or 10,000 users. So talk about how quickly have you seen the result? What is the quality of the result? What are the number of people the result impacted, right? And also, if you have historical data, I also suggest you talk about year-on-year increase. What happened last year? What have you done differently this year? And how have you seen a year-on-year growth, right? Always in your result, keep it more qualitative is important, but I will say quantitative is also very important. So give numbers from a quality standpoint, from a quantifying standpoint, talk about who was involved, year-on-year growth, what are the specific program details that helped you achieve this result. So give those details as well. Then reflect. I think this is very important, because reflection on the action you have taken and the results you have delivered, it's important to pause in this busy world. It's important to pause a couple of minutes and see what good has come out of this project, and what can be improved for next time, so that the next time you're doing a similar project, you know how to do it differently, or you know how to use some of the best practices you have learned in this current assignment, right? So it's important that we also be self-critical and take an action to improve. So I'll just have one more slide. I'll share this with you and pause for questions. So finally, these are some best practices I have used when I interviewed for AWS 2 years ago. These are some of the best practices I have used in my entire 18-year career journey. And trust me, STAR methodology is something that I have come across only in the last 2.5 years when I was preparing myself for the AWS interviews. But I know that in the future also, this is a methodology that I will use for any time I have to mentor somebody, or when I have to interview myself for some other organization. So please start practicing STAR methodology. Ensure that each of the response you're giving to the interviewer, you have a beginning, you have a middle, and you also have an end story. And everything has to tie up nicely. And then also try to give specific examples, right? The examples that you have led, or you have delivered, or you have developed. So give specific examples so that it becomes it becomes easier for the interviewer to understand the nature of your experience, the nature of the unique skills you bring to the table. Then also talk about numbers. I think, in my opinion, numbers make a lot of difference. Even in your resume, I would recommend that every sentence should be an action, should have a verb. You should have a quantifiable number as far as you can. I understand there are cases where you can't give a quantifiable number. It's more qualitative in nature, but as much as possible, think of what number you can assign, right? By doing a program, you delivered, say, learning to 1,200 students, or by doing some other project, it enabled or improved quality and reduced the cost by 30% on that project. Or in just take examples like this. So make sure that for everything that you have done in your previous work experience, because I know all of you come with years of experience, so make sure that your resume, when you prepare your resume, it is both it is both qualitative and also quantitative. Then be honest. If you don't know something, it is totally okay to say, hey, I haven't come across a situation like that, so I don't have experience here. Or say that, hey, that's a very interesting topic. I haven't really had an opportunity, but I will spend some time to learn about it, right? Be honest, straightforward, and forthcoming. And then structure your answers in the star format so that you don't run out of time. Interviews are typically 45 minutes to 60 minutes in length. Make sure that you are making the most of your 60 minutes. Somebody is spending 60 minutes with you. Make sure this person fully understands you. Make sure you are able to portray to this person what strengths you can bring to the organization. And again, also reflect on what attracted you to apply to this role in the first place, right? Why do you think you make a good fit in this organization? When you saw the job description, it may have resonated with you, right? You would have think, oh yeah, I have experience there. Oh, or you may be thinking to yourself, that is a place I would like to contribute. I am passionate about it, right? So think about what motivated you to apply for that particular job in the first place, and that will help you connect with your prospective employer, with your prospective manager, in a much better and a nicer fashion. So these are some pro tips I have here, but I'll take a quick pause and open for questions.
There is a question from Geeta. She had asked for examples of the STAR methodology.
Okay. There was a question when, okay, let me take a behavioral question as an example. That is something everybody can relate to. There was a question they asked me, tell me about a time when you had to deal with a tough team member who wasn't really improving, even after giving repeated feedback, the team member was not improving. What did you do? Just a very arbitrary question. So I had to think through, did I have a situation like that? First of all, did I have to face a situation like that? The answer was yes. I did have a team member whom, despite repeated feedback, wasn't taking it well, wasn't improving. So that was the situation at hand. So that's the situation at hand. Then the task in front of me was, how do I make sure that this person improves so that he or she is able to have a successful career in the organization? So that's my task at hand. So I had to speak to the person's counselor, had to speak to HR, had to speak to special trainers who can train him to improve. The action I have taken is made it more time bound. I said in the next 3 months, this person has to improve in this particular technology, and we will see how his work, her work is improving along the course. So we have taken a very 3-month time bound action, being coached by his own counselor, by HR, and also by the technical trainer. And the result was, in 3 months, this person took it seriously, have improved on their technology. And the result is that by the end of the year, this person actually moved from being an underperformer to a performer, which I think, that's the result. It's a very simple example, but that's the result we were able to achieve by, in 3 months, by coaching, personally training him or her, and then at the end of the year, they were they became a performer from being a low performer, which I think is a great example. So that is exactly what STAR is. So think of the situation you had in hand, the task that you had to take, action, the result, and what is my reflection from this? I had to pause and think, why did this person even slip down to low performer in the first place, right? I could have, as a manager, I could have done better. I should have seen the red alerts, which I missed. So for me, that's a great example for next time. Somebody is showing similar signs. I know how to take action it much before. Prevention is better than cure. I know how to identify these signs early on so that we don't even come into the situation. That's the reflection I had as a manager. So that's star very simply put.
That's very well explained. We have another question. What question would be asked to returnees with AWS restart course?
So when you go through the interview process, everybody is the same. When you are at the interview loop, everybody is treated equal. Doesn't matter you've come from Restart or you have come from some other technology program, or so all of us, when we enter into employment, into interview process, we're all treated equal, right? So we all come with we've taken certification, we come with the training. So in the interview process itself, that prospective employer will question you on your technology skill, on your leadership skill, on the kind of experience you have had in your organization, in your previous organizations, because all of you are on a career break and trying to come back. So it is going to be exactly the same. Like if I were to be part of the interview process, or one of you were to be part of the interview process, it's exactly the same.
Thank you. Any other questions for Deepti?
Yeah, Deepti, I'm Anuradha here. Hi. I think many of us are going through the cohort, so especially for returnees. So what I want to know is, like, generally, most places we have to start at a lower level than, because of the gap and other things. So is there like an aptitude test? Like, generally when you see for Amazon, there's an aptitude test. You clear that, then there are other series of interviews which are there. So can you just share with us whether it will be similar for us, and how many levels of interviews you have?
So it depends from employer to employer, Anuradha. If you're looking at AWS, typically AWS has 6 to 7 interviews, right? It depends on the level you're joining the organization also, but typically we have 4 to 5 if it's a junior role, 6 to 7 if it's a senior role, right? Those are the number of interviews one has to go through. Secondly, about aptitude test, it all depends on the kind of organizations that are coming to the job fair on September 9th. Some organizations have a written test, some organizations have a aptitude test, some organizations directly take you for interview rounds. So it really depends from the kind of organization and their HR policies.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. I see one question from Sonal here that says, can AWS restart program is enough to get placed in jobs, or do we have to do anything differently? I would say always up your game on skilling. Once you have completed, I think some of you have gone through 9 weeks, some of you may have gone through 12-week restart program. So please make sure that you utilize Skill Builder. Get your hands dirty on AWS console by practicing on the labs. If some of you are already certified, make sure there are 600 plus free courses available on Skill Builder already. So please spend some time on polishing your technical skills. Restart is a great program to quickly brush you up on AWS technologies. But in addition to that, I would say communication is the key. Your confidence is the key. Technology, yes, it'll help you prepare, but your communication skills and leadership skills and your confidence is what will take you places. Nikita, can you help me with questions? I see a couple of them are coming through. I don't know if let me open the chat box. Okay, there is one question. Padma says, previously I had quantitative and behavioral questions. Face-to-face interview was typical response time from Amazon and after the process. So at Amazon, we have a promise that we make to the candidates where we have a quick turnaround. Basically, after the interview process, it typically takes about a week for our recruiters to come around. So give us a week or 10 days for recruiters to come back after your interviews are done. If it is AWS and if it's Amazon. For the other organizations, it totally depends on the organization HR policies.
Okay. So So can you answer the question for IT and non-IT? How is it going to be?
Can I
This
read
question
it?
is from Pavni.
I'm trying to pull it up.
I will just paste it for you.
Yeah, if you can paste it for me, I think it's way on the top.
Yeah, pasted.
Okay, how the questions will be person moving from non-IT to IT. So non-IT to IT, I don't think it will be any different, Pavani. The reason being, people who are trying to make a shift from non-tech careers to tech careers, that is the reason why you go through restart, right? That's the reason why you're preparing yourself for the technology roles in cloud. So it is not going to be any different. The technology questions or behavioral questions will remain the same. And if it's AWS interviews, the recruiter will also spend some time with you, prepare you ahead of time on how to prepare for AWS interviews. As I said, STAR methodology is what we use for Amazon interviews. When an interviewer asks you a question, we expect you to frame your answers as per the STAR methodology. When I will tell you, it's been more than 2 years since I joined the firm. When I prepared for my interviews, I prepared for the Amazon interviews are based on the leadership principles. Many of you be knowing that we have 16 leadership principles. When I joined at that point of time, it was 14 leadership principles. So I had to prepare for at least 2 examples in STAR format for each of the leadership principles. For example, frugality, simplify and invent, customer obsession, success and scale brings broader responsibility. These are different leadership principles we have in Amazon. And when for each of the leadership principle, I had prepared at least 2 examples that I can give to the interviewer during my interview process, because I had 7 rounds. So for example, if the interviewer asked, tell me a time when you are dealing with a customer situation and it is a tough customer to deal with, what have you done? For example, I had at least 1 or 2 examples prepared in the STAR format. So during the interview process, I didn't have to struggle. I already had my answers well thought through, well structured in my mind. At that time, it was 14 leadership principles. So 14 into 2, 28 examples. I added 2 additional examples, and I had 30 examples in the STAR format already I prepared for each leadership principle, right? So I was well prepared in advance, because I know the interview process in Amazon is very elaborate leadership principle based interview process. So I had kept all my examples ready, prepared well in advance. The recruiter, if you're going through Amazon or AWS interviews, the recruiter will prepare you ahead of time, and STAR methodology is what we expect the candidates to follow. And STAR methodology, not only for Amazon, even if any other organization you're interviewing, this is a great format to follow in general. Okay, somebody's asking me more information about my current role. What's the work question? How are you enjoying Amazon? Is this from Padma? Okay, thank you, Padma, for that question. I love it here. Amazon is a great employer. Amazon Web Services is a great employer. I am part of training and certification team, and my job role is to ensure that customers who invest or buy AWS services, we have 200 plus services, who buy 200 plus of our services, they know how to effectively use it. So my job is to ensure our customer employees are well trained, are able to utilize AWS services very well, and bring down the cost, speed up innovation, decrease increase operations, so on and so forth. So my job is to make sure customer employees are well trained.
Thanks, Deepti. That is wonderful, because usually I hear that from IT people that there is more work pressure in Amazon and stuff like that. So yeah, just wanted to know your point of view from that.
Yeah, so Amazon, our AWS for that matter, is a very customer-centric organization. Customer obsession is one of our leadership principles, which means we want to make sure that our customer needs, our customer asks are met with utmost quality and on time. Because of which I agree that we are under pressure, but I would like to not use the word pressure. I would like to use the word customer obsession.
Yeah, true. It is like how we see positively.
Yeah. But you know what? In a real world, every organization that you join, there will be pressure. I mean, again, talking realistically, right? So I think once you join work, you will get used to it. I'm not saying lose work-life balance. Again, as a big advocate for women in tech, I will not say lose work-life balance, because work-life balance is very, very important, because we are here in the career in the long run, right? Not just for a short sprint, but for a marathon. If a marathon has to be successful, you cannot be working 12, 14 hours a day and think you will be successful in a 25-year career. That is not going to happen. In my 18 years of experience, I will tell you that I have always treated career as a marathon and not as a short sprint.
Nice. Yeah, it is very important.
Yeah. No, but thank you.
Thanks.
Great
Thank
question.
you.
Please don't lose work-life balance just because you're returning back from a career break. There is always ways to negotiate with your manager. There is always way to, if you're genuine and our work that we're putting in is sincere, the leadership will surely understand.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for all the suggestions. It
Sure.
really means a lot.
Of course.
Thank you.
I think I exceeded my time. I was only given 15 minutes, but 15 minutes by the Aspire for her team. I know there are other presenters on the call, but this is great. I think all of you have taken the first big step of enabling yourself, transforming yourself to come back to workforce. I wish you all the best, and I will tell you one thing: confidence is the key. Forget everything else.
Just a quick question. Is Amazon AWS coming to for this job fair? Will they be there?
I think Hiral has information on the kind of employees that are coming on September 9th. I think AFH will share with you post the call, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Thank
All
you,
right,
Deepti,
then.
for joining us today evening and sharing valuable information.
Yeah, thank you, Nikita.
So-
And back to Nikki. And I think we also have our next presenter, Vinisha, on the call here. So I will drop off now. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. It was really inspiring hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you. Likewise, I get very inspired when I speak to all of you as well. Bye for now.
Thank you. Bye.
Good evening, Vinisha and everyone. A very
Good
warm welcome. Vinisha is a returnee. She took a very brave step to join the back workforce after 6 years. So she is going to share her journey. So she's currently working with Hayes Business Solution as an AWS auditor. So Vinisha, over to you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Nikita, for introducing me. It was really tough journey, but I just want to say one thing. Just take out 1 hour for yourself and prepare for your skills. And coming to my journey, basically I belong from Rajasthan. I started my journey as an Oracle DBA. First of all, I have completed my Oracle certification in 2014, and together I was doing MCA. After that, I went for a job. I have different type of experience in jobs, but due to parenting and elderly care, I need to drop off that time. And suddenly, I was checking out on LinkedIn. I started follow Ruchita Tandon, Madhura Das Gupta, and aspire for her. Definitely, I was looking for a specific course that can give me a boost. And suddenly, I noticed there was some information regarding AWS, and it was also for Returnee. So I just take a chance. If I am not getting job, that's fine. I am not still interested in job, but I just want to improve my skills. I want to gain my knowledge, so that's why I joined AWS also. And just I'm talking about Tata Stripe. My start coming back journey started from Tata Stripe. They provide me basic knowledge of AWS, database, Linux, Python, and every field which is related to our IT, like networking and DBs also, database. And after to gain skills and hands-on from Tata Stripe, I started to apply on jobs. Some other portals like Naukri, LinkedIn, and timesjobs.com. I put my resume, and suddenly I got a call that Vinisha, your interview is fixed on this date, so you need to be available. And parallel, I have 3 interviews for Hexaview, Capgemini, and his business solutions. I selected for all of 3 jobs. but I choose his business solution to working as AWS auditor. My day-to-day tasks are I have to need check billing, cost optimization, and notification that AWS sends. I need to sort out the problems, and my basic and main task is AD, Active Directory. I need to create users and assign them role appropriate to use their task. So it was my basic task and day-to-day in routine task. After that, I need to pick up some skills also. So coming to my skills, I have basic knowledge of database, SQL, Python, Linux, and AWS. Currently, I'm learning AWS DevOps also. So basic Kubernetes, Docker, I can handle it on GitHub also. So these are my skills. And for women, I will also always here to help you out. If you need anything, any guidance from me, you can reach out on me on LinkedIn profile. That is Vinisha Mathur. It's up to my side. If anything, any question you want to ask, you can go ahead. Is there any question? Okay.
Thank you, Vinisha. Any questions? Can you share your LinkedIn profile?
Yes, that is Vinisha Mathur. You can easily find it.
You can send it to me.
I'm really happy to help you. If you need anything, any like you want any content for DevOps, for AI, for machine learning, you can reach out to me. Any type of content, I can help you with that.
So most interviews.
Vinisha, what?
Yeah, carry on.
Sorry, continue. Yeah, you can continue.
Yeah, so most of the interview process is like, if you can explain a little bit about how the process is, so that it's one round, two round, it's technical round, or how is it? You can explain, then it'll help us.
Yes, in Capgemini, there will be 4 rounds. First is aptitude. That will be your logical and frequently behavioral question. Second round is your technical round. It will be focused on your skills. Like if you are giving an interview for Linux admin profile, they can ask you, tell me 5 Linux command, or you can tell me about the top command, what it can do, and some other commands like if you need to synchronization in Linux, how you will do that. You need to check disk memory, how you will check disk memory. In the AWS, you can find like uh, okay, can you explain me about object storage and block storage, and what type of storage you should use when you are using for a specific file sharing, and what is the use case of S3. So there are different types of technology and use case also. In AWS, if you are going to read about AWS, there are so many services. Even 200 above services are there, but specifically they will ask you what is your skill. If you're telling them that storage is my skill, so they will ask you definitely about storage. Authentication and authorization, they will ask you about IAM, security, and all that, all type of that type of question. And in my interview, there were some questions like what is the difference between on premises and cloud. Second question was what is the what do you think, what is more secure, on premises or cloud? Can anyone tell me? So my answer was cloud. Cloud is more secure than on premises, but that time I was wrong, because more secure is on premises.
Premise.
Yes, because on premises you can give particular user that access, and no one can access that.
It's
That
private
is,
cloud. That's the main
yes,
thing. Whereas here you have to
that
go
is
via
private.
internet. Yeah, that's the
Yeah, and one
Vinisha,
more question like yes, is someone asked?
Vinisha, for AWS restarters, what kind of questions we can expect, especially female returning?
Yes, so there will be basic questions like you can tell them about security. Tell me about security. Which cloud is secure, more secure? Because there are some technologies that already coming.
Which cloud
Yes.
means, 1 second, which cloud means we have to give the analogy of IBM, AWS, and Google, like the Alibaba, like this, or in the
Yes.
AWS itself, we have to categorize.
No, it can be related to AWS, Azure, Alibaba. There are so many cloud providers. So basically, if you are going to complete your AWS, so you can tell them about AWS. AWS is secure, and in the how what techniques AWS use to secure their entire infrastructure.
But almost all cloud basic, you GCP and your Azure provide all the services almost, even security is almost at par, right? You cannot say
Yes.
the AWS is better because they are lacking somewhere behind. It's not like that, because
No,
all the, right? Is there anything that we don't know? I mean,
Sorry for interruption. You are right.
yeah.
There are so many features they are using. Different cloud providers they are using different techniques. Because I know about AWS. I'm not sure about any other cloud provider. In the AWS, they never tell you that where is your data center is located. They make data centers, and there you will never find a destination where is data center is located in which area. There is no like blocks or anything, no banner, so it is secretly planned. Are you getting my point?
Yeah, yeah,
Because
Yes, yes, yes.
got
coming
it.
to coming to security, what we need to focus about infrastructure. Our infrastructure should be secure, because we are giving servers almost 100 to 200 servers are there. We need to take care of them. Networking related issues can be occur, or even sometimes before I was reading about AWS data centers, and I found some amazing news like there are no data centers specific with names, and no employee identity is open for data center. If you are working in data center, your identity will be hidden, so no one is authorized, and you have access card biometrics. They use most of the techniques for securing their infrastructure. Coming to like this is the way to they secure the infrastructure. Second point is, what is your access and authorization? How you will provide authorization and access to any user. This is the basic thing. And I can say that other cloud providers are also like using these techniques also, but I'm not sure about them. But according to me, AWS is secure, and most of the companies are coming to use AWS.
Thank you.
Physically and virtually, we can say they are using MFA also, multi-factor authentication. They are using multi-factor authentication devices also, like USB or other we can say there is a machine which code is generated. When this code is generated, you can put there and you will have access to their resources. Like it's Google Authenticator. If you don't have any information regarding that, you will learn in this course, AWS cohort.
Vinisha, I have a question for you.
Yes.
Like you said, you are selected as a AWS auditor. So the profile you have applied was for the AWS auditor, or you have been interviewed on the various skills of AWS, and then they have placed you as a AWS auditor.
It's really nice question. Actually, first on the first interview, there was a profile. My first interview was Hexaview. In the Hexaview, there was a profile like cloud engineer. I went there. I faced that interview, and in the second company, I was applied for DevOps, and the third company was his business solutions. I applied for DevOps team, and they have taken my interview. After that, after knowing the knowledge of AWS, they decide me to put in AWS auditor. Even
Okay.
although they are teaching me DevOps skills also, some DevOps tools also, day-to-day routine task. These are the scripts you have to run it. So basic task is that. If we need to check the last login of the user is active or deactive, you need to drop that user, you need to delete that user. So basic task they were teaching me.
Thank you so much for answering. Also, we after this AWS restart, we'll be getting certified for CCP, so we can go and apply for DevOps, SysOps also, or DevOps also,
uh,
the roles or
I
not.
I think if you are going for CCP, there will be some hands-on knowledge and some basic knowledge of AWS. So you can apply for cloud engineer, AWS cloud engineer, AWS auditor, and for DevOps you need to increase your skills also. Like you can learn Git, GitHub, Ansible. There are so many DevOps tools also, and Docker, Kubernetes. These are the skills for DevOps.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
You're welcome.
Vinisa, is it good to upgrade our skill? That means now I am going to complete the CLF 01 CCP exam. So planning to do the associate exam. After finishing associate exam, if we explore the job, it is better. Or now itself we can start whatever comes to our way. We can start. Once we start, we can do the associate. What is
I
your
will
opinion in
prefer
that?
it if you are getting job opportunity. Please join it, and after that you can improve your skills also, because theoretical or learning sessions are different, but actual work in industry is different.
Yes.
So I think it's better if you learn that skills, you can easily crack solution architect exam also.
Then one more point. Already we written is all our work experience of 10 years, 15 years, some of 8 years. So we played in a different roles. Okay, so we are not in a developer role. We played in a different roles. Suppose I come out from PM role means if I want to take up the next level, that is cloud PM means what are the things I should prepare myself?
There is broad course for solution architect or any other profile like storage, DBs, database, admins, and security. So you can, according to your knowledge, you can proceed with that. And the on the platform Skill Builder, you can find so many courses are there for specific
Yes,
profiles.
yes. We have seen so many. For few only we have is a free of cost. Few we need to pay and do it.
So I will suggest you please find if you are able to find free of course, and if you are not able to find for the content, you can approach me.
Thank you, Vinisha.
You're welcome.
So if you
So
want
if I have a touch with you in LinkedIn means can you suggest me correct one? I can check and find and send you the link.
Sure.
Thank you.
so to
Welcome.
start our career in cloud now. So if I want to be a solution architect, what is the first entry job that I should look for so that then I can chart my way to a solution architect?
I think first thing we need to focus on our knowledge. If we have knowledge, you need to search your specific keywords. Like if you find your specialty in security, you can approach for security profile. If you find that networking is very easy for me, you can go for it. Because when you search specific keyword in Naukri or any other profile, there are so many different types of roles. Some are for security, some are for storage, some are asking for cloud engineer, some for auditor. So depends on your skills and your interest.
Okay, thank you.
Vinisha, we have a question. Linux and Python are useful in AWS.
Yes, Linux and Python both are helpful in the AWS. If you know Python, you can approach for DevOps also, because there are so many languages like Ruby, Go and you can approach with DevOps. I think DevOps is better for you.
Hi, Vinisha.
So another,
I've just come in. Sorry, Nikki, I'm taking 1 minute. I think the
okay,
audience
sure.
is back again, keeping the cameras off. There I see Vandana immediately puts it on after seeing me. Hi. I hope you all are enjoying. And for a speaker who has come to give you some confidence, to give you some guidance, I think, Vinisha, if you will agree with me or not, you would like to see them, right?
Yes.
So it definitely increases the interest of the speaker when she sees people reacting to what she's saying. So yes, and I'm telling you, this is also the first step to building confidence to meet your interviewer. Please remember this. How long will you be behind the camera, right? And these are small steps to just come forward.
All are Kohinoor, ma'am.
I know, but it's time. See, somebody has to steal the Kohinoor also. तो भाई बाबा शक्ल दिखाओ तभी लोग सोचेंगे कि how do I come? And I'm really glad that and I'll give you simple examples. Today you see Nikki who's moderating the event. Let me tell you, this is the first time for Nikki, but it doesn't look like she's doing it for the first time. There is always a first time. Just get out of your comfort zone and everything else just goes smoothly. This is also the last session of our returnee success story. So I'm hoping that all of you have definitely enjoyed it, and you all are looking forward to the job fair, because even if you don't get a job through this job fair, there are many opportunities that come. You will definitely build your confidence, you will definitely build some more motivation, and you will be back striking again. So the end result is not what's important, it is the journey that is important. With that, I am going to hand it over back to Vinisha, because these are success stories which help you, which motivate you, help you guide through the way. And of course, we're all looking at impact. But the first thing is keep your cameras on and let's face the world to begin with. Rest of the journey automatically follows. Okay. Thank you. Over to you, Vinisha and Nikki.
Thank you, Ruchita ma'am.
Thank you.
I just want to tell all of you that Ruchita ma'am is really an inspiring lady for me. First session I joined with Ruchita ma'am, and that session was really awesome. That was like, huh, I need to come out from my comfort zone.
Oh, wow. I'm so glad that I could make that one change over here. And today you are actually mentoring 50 other women. So this is how it's a chain reaction. And tomorrow you 50 will actually go and mentor another 50. This is a journey that goes on because we are looking at 1 million women. The number is huge.
Yes,
It's not impossible, but each one of you is going to get that chance. So definitely don't think of yourself as less. Definitely, this is the first step. And wishing you all the best. Do not think any job is that you are not fit for the job. Please go and apply. Until you apply, you don't know what's in store for you.
right.
If you don't apply, nobody can do anything. So that is something where you start. Okay, Vinisha, there we are hearing your success story. Nikki, the next question.
Yes.
So we have another question, which is for AWS administrator role, which would be the coding language required?
Sorry, I didn't get your question. Can you please repeat it?
For AWS administrator role, which would be the coding language required?
I think for administrator role, you don't need any coding language. For DevOps, definitely I will prefer if you are going for DevOps, but that is technical, totally technical. So that will be helpful if you focus on Python or Linux scripting. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay.
Any other question? Any other question from anyone? So Vinisha, I have a question. What motivated you to get back to workforce? Like in 6 years, like
As I told everyone that I started my journey as a Oracle DBA, and just because of some parenting issue, I need to drop my job. So it was like, what am I doing? I am certified. Why I'm not doing job? There was a guilt. Why I'm sitting at home? I need to improve my skills. But the one thing I just want to tell all of you that at least 15 to 20 minutes I always focus on my study. If I don't have any time, no worries. I just wake up early morning and I will check. Okay, this is the thing I need to focus on it. I always make a schedule at least 1 hour for yourself. That's it. 1 hour is enough if you are learning new things or new skills. 1 hour, 1 day, that will be okay. But the thing which motivated me, uh, I continuously used to aspire for her sessions. I always check on LinkedIn what is the new skills, AI, machine learning, aspire for. Oh, there's a post, someone is coming to inspire us. I should join it. If I don't have any time, no worries. Put earphone. That's it. Behind the story, I am learning each and everything. That's it. And I'm working on my computer. No one is here to entertain you. No one is here to like, please come join us. It's up to you. It's your skill. If you want to come back, you need to focus on your skill. If otherwise we all are doing day-to-day tasks 24 by 7, we are busy. Some are busy in parenting, some are busy in elderly care. So there is a suggestion, if you want to come back in your life, working life, take out 1 hour and focus on your skills. That's it. Even I am working now. I joined his business solution in 2022, November 2022, but I still feel that there is a skill I need to develop it. I don't know DevOps, not to worry. I have all the content on YouTube or some links are there. I can go there. I can check out what is the new skills are coming in market. In the IT, there should be in mind if you are coming in IT field, you need to upgrade your knowledge always. Always. Just try to take out 15 minutes for tech news, some new skills. That's it. You will be definitely getting job. For any kind of help related to education, content, you don't find any content, you can approach me. If anyone want to like referral or reference someone, I'm happy to help you. I'm here. I can, if I will be any information regarding job opportunity or I personally go and help you guys. Just come out from your comfort zone.
Thank you for motivating everyone.
Well,
Any
welcome,
questions?
welcome.
We're about to end the session.
Okay.
So we have a job fair in Bangalore on 9th September. Who can attend, please go ahead. Who will be missing this session? We have an online session on 14th. You'll get to see on our website. Thank you everyone for joining us.
Thank you, team. Thank you,
Bye.
Aspire, for her. Thank you, Nikita. Thank you, Ruchita,
Thank
ma'am.
you.
Really nice to speak with all of you. Thank you, everyone.